All right, okay. So here we are, still talking about my story. And yeah, I was in my sophomore year, and I would like to rewind just a little bit to talk about my sophomore year. The first semester of my sophomore year went really well, staying at my dad's and, working my side hustle business. And I was still working in the computer lab, and that was pretty cool. And yeah, I was still making scholarships. I did really well my sophomore year, the beginning of my sophomore year. And I made a lot of scholarships. I applied for quite a bit. And I ended up having a lot of money with no dorms and no meal plans to pay for. I had a lot of money, and I was like, what am I going to do with this money? And I just was like, I know I'm going to um buy every single concert ticket. And for every single concert, I bought 2 tickets to 4 tickets. 2 to 4 tickets to every single concert. The ones that I thought were really cool, I bought four. So, yeah, and I was excited about that. And so the next year, the next school year, and the next semester, when Zach came back and asked me to take him back, I was going to concerts. And so I was like, yeah, and you can come to concerts with me. And Zach, he did go to one concert with me. And before that, I would take my brother and his girlfriend and one of her friends for the four ones whenever Zach wasn't there. But there was one concert, the Linkin Park concert, where it was going to be me, Zach, my brother, and his girlfriend. And we all arrived super early because, we knew how it was a general admission, and we knew how general admission works. And we wanted to be in the front. And my brother's girlfriend and I, we were really close friends. And yeah, we knew how to do it right, do a concert right. Well, Zach did not show up. Zach did not, and it was like the concert's about to start, and his girlfriend was getting frustrated with me, which is, understandable. And so we got in line to get into the concert, and we ended up being in the nosebleed section, like way far in the back, which was fine because we had plenty of weed to smoke and lots of booze, and we had a blast in the nosebleed section. Well, Zach did show up. He showed up while the opening band was playing, and he was so angry that we did not wait on him. And honestly, I was mad because he was like 2 hours late. I told him to be extra early, and he was like 2 hours late. But whatever. And then one of my favorite concerts was the Kid Rock concert. And for that one, I just had 2 tickets. Just me and Zach were going to the Kid Rock concert. And this one, I was going to do it my way. I'm very controlling. But, yeah, I was with Zach, and I got him ready, and I took him to the concert. And yeah, we went, and we were there early, and we were like right up on the stage. Like, we were on the left side of the stage. So we were like right there on the stage to the left. And there was like hot girls all around us. And Zach was so angry at me. I guess because, I was trying to get there early and everything because I wanted to be up on stage. And oh my gosh, he was just like dogging on me so hardcore, just like horrible. And yeah, I was just, by the time Kid Rock came on, I was just like sitting like this and just miserable and sad. And Kid Rock came over there, and I swear, I don't know, but I swear he locked eyes with me and was like giving it his all and just really entertaining. And yeah, I got up and I started dancing, and he was like, yeah. And oh my gosh, still to this day, I love Kid Rock for that. I'm like, he's an entertainer. He puts on a good show. So I really loved that about Kid Rock. He got me out of my funk that I was in. And yeah, Zach just, I don't know, he wasn't that great. And I remember the first time I went to the doctor, I told him, I was like, I've been partying, I've been, to all these concerts and stuff. The doctor's like, that's fine. Just don't drink any further. And I'm like, oh, okay. Well, at the same time, Rory, who I'd hang out with all the time, he hung out with the homies, and I would hang out with the homies. And the homies are a group of nerd boys that basically rent out this big, luxurious house. Not a big, luxurious house, just a big 2-story house. Everybody's got a room, and they rent it together. And they call themselves the homies. And during this time, the homies were really getting into hallucinogens, just like I had done the previous year with Rory. And I was pregnant, so I could not participate with them. I could only hang out with them while I could be the babysitter. So I was the designated babysitter while the homies tripped around me a whole lot. I would laugh at their stuff. I would watch them just like play with their glow sticks and do their dances, and yeah. I never did participate though. I wanted to be a mother more than anything in the world, so taking care of my baby was number one priority. And anything after that, if I can have fun, hang out with people, and enjoy their company, then I'm more than happy to. And oh my goodness. Every time I hung out with Rory, he knew that I have a heart for God. And there's no convincing me God doesn't exist. I know that he exists because I interact with him. And I only say him because I don't want to say it. And I might switch to her at times too. But yeah, God, I know exists and I have a heart for God. But at the same time, I understood that I was being bad. I was being naughty. And yeah, I was not a good girl. And I knew that I was separated from God. And I separated myself from God. But at the same time, I loved Jesus. And Rory knew that my love for Jesus caused immense guilt. I was so guilty. And he made it his mission to unbrainwash me about Jesus, because he was like, you're brainwashed with Jesus and I'll unbrainwash you. So I was a pothead. I'm an avid pothead, and every time he would hand me the joint or the pipe, every time that he was in the weed circle with me, he would always make sure that he would be the one handing it to me, and he would tell me, Jesus is not real. Jesus is not real. Jesus is not real. And I was just like, this is not going to work, but whatever. I don't think it ever worked. Maybe it did. Maybe it did sink in. Maybe that's the way things work, is you do things now and they don't sink in till later. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, he constantly was, Jesus is not real. Jesus is not real. And if he wasn't telling me about how Jesus isn't real, we were talking about politics and Democrats and how they do everything the right way and Republicans do everything the wrong way and how obvious that is. So, yeah, that's what we would be talking about most of the time. And back in Spring City, my good friend Jerica decided to throw me a baby shower, which was so sweet of her. And it was such a beautiful baby shower. It was in October, because my due date was in December. And yeah, by this time I was living with my mother and I was going to college with my mother. She was studying psychology and I was studying everything. And oh my goodness. And so yeah, she threw a baby shower for me and she invited the homies. She knew that I had friends in where my university is, and so she invited the homies, and they were tripping. They showed up and said, we're tripping, and I was like, oh my gosh, my grandma was there, my mom's mom was there, which surprised me that she showed up as she did. And a lot of friends in Spring City showed up, and Jerica had a cookie cake for me. It was delicious. And yeah, it was a really good baby shower. I really enjoyed it. And I don't know if I know I've told her thank you, but she means the world to me. And yeah, but my homie friends were tripping the whole entire time, which I found fun. I thought that was fun. It brings fun and excitement into life. I don't like a boring life. I don't want to live a boring life. So I'm happy that the homies were there. And yeah, it was exciting. And yeah, I did end up going to more concerts and while I was pregnant, so I got to see a lot of bands while pregnant, but I just took it easy, you know. It was about incubating that beautiful baby of mine. And that's all that it was about. And yeah, I understand. I feel the need. I feel such a strong need to justify myself because of the campaign that was put out against me that I'm just a slut and that that's not his baby and that I'm, you know, I was a drug addict and that I don't know. At the time I didn't feel the need to justify it. It was like, oh well, whatever. It is what it is. And once I had my baby, she was so healthy. There was just no doubt in my mind that, you know, I did good by her. But yeah, her when she was born, it was a scheduled birth because they said that she was so big. It was 2 weeks before her due date. Her due date was right before Christmas. This is 2 weeks before Christmas, and I called Zach the night before and I told him that, you know, it's scheduled for tomorrow. And I called his mother because his mother had told me, you know, she had told me lots of sob stories about how she didn't get to be there for her grandkids and all this. And so I was like, I'm going to let you be there for your grandkid. And, you know, I didn't realize back then how much she hated me and how much I wasn't ever going to have her like me. It doesn't matter what I do or who I am. This woman's going to hate me. And I thought that I could win a little bit of her favor and that this is my baby's grandmother by allowing her to be in the birthing room with me whenever I birth. And so I invited her. I called her and I called Zach. I did not want Zach in the room though. I just didn't feel comfortable with him being there. The relationship that we had with each other, it wasn't a happy relationship at the time. And I was giving birth to my baby and so exposed. I didn't want Zach to be there. And so in the room, I allowed Rory and my mom and his mom to be there. And as soon as the baby was pushed out, his mom went and tagged Zach and brought him in. And Zach went over there and looked at the baby and said, "That's not mine." And threw a big fit, and left the hospital. I don't know. It is what it is, but I guess that's all the time that I have for you guys today. I thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you for listening to my story. It's gonna be getting crazy, but I'm thankful that I got to be a part of it and to live it, and hopefully y'all are enjoying it. Thank you guys so much for watching so far. You're a gem for hanging in there this long. Truly, you're amazing. I love you so much. I hope you can feel it. But as always, be blessed with love. That's all she got.